Thank you. Welcome, everyone. My name is Charles Johnson. I am the Executive Director for the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency, and I want to welcome you to this briefing, this webinar, and to talk a little bit about certification and how certification can benefit your agency, your organization, or your company. Again, my name is Charles Johnson with the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency. Some of the things that we want to talk about this morning will be things such as certification program, the types of certification, the areas that we cover for the local and federal program, as well as the benefits for being certified, how to apply online for certification, the NAICS codes, the NAICS codes, the hub certification, which is historically underutilized business, marketing your business once certified, leveraging your certification, and a list of our resource partners that we use. So with the certification, we have two different programs. We have the local program that consists of the small business enterprise, SBE, the minority business enterprise, MBE, the woman business enterprise, WBE, and the veteran business enterprise, VBE. And with that, you'll see we have those broken down into different designations of the minority status of African American Business Enterprise, which is your AABE, your Asian American Business Enterprise, which is your ABE, Disabled Individual Business Enterprise is DIBE, your Emerging Small Business Enterprise is the ESBE, Hispanic American Business Enterprise, which is HABE, and Native American Business Enterprise, NABE. And the reason why we've listed those in the category as we have, because in our minority business enterprise, with the bid solicitations that go out, we want to make sure that people know where there's actual spend with minority-owned firms. Instead of just using MBE, we want to break that down to the different ethnicities to see exactly where those dollars are being spent and who is benefiting from those dollars spent. Then also we have the federal program, which is our Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, also DBE, and then the Airport Concessionaire Disadvantaged Business Enterprise as the ACDBE, and that has been taken up by one of my other specialists to speak a little bit more about. So we'll touch on some of that later through the presentation. So with the breakdown of a certification, you'll see we have the SWIMBE program, which is all of what sometimes references the SWIMBE and pretty much the alphabet soup of AABE, MBE, ESBE, HBE, VBE, and WBE. So to be considered eligible for any of these certifications, your firm must be independent, and for business must be for profit, as well as a citizen or legally permanent residents, okay? All participants must submit documentations to prove they fall into one of the categories types. For documents required will vary between the different type of certifications requested. Then for our federal program, we have the DBE and the ACDBE. The airport concessionaire, your ACDBE, it's all in the DBE is all under the Texas Unified Certification Program, also as called the TUCP. Each state has a UCP, and for Texas, the T stands for Texas. So we have our own identity, and those are all with the federal regulations of the 49 CFR Part 26 and Part 23. The Part 26 will be more geared toward any type of highway construction projects and some professional services, and the Part 23 is more in line with airport concessionaire and those individuals that are seeking to do business with the airport. So what comes up often in the certification process is a fee. So what we have with the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency outside of the other TUCP members that we'll talk about a little bit later, inside of our jurisdiction, you'll see that there's a no cost if you fit within the local jurisdiction counties. And those counties consist of Atascosa, Bandera, Bexar, Caldwell, Cormel, Frio, Goliad, Guadalupe, Hayes, Karnes, Kendall, Kerr, McAllen, Medina, Uvalde, and Wilson. So if you fall within those counties, your certification is free through the agency. However, if you fall outside of those counties, there is a $250 application fee, and for the renewal will be $100. So when we look at our federal program, we also have, it's carved out in our map where we basically service the Atascosa, Bandera, Bexar County, Cormel, Frio, Guadalupe, Kendall, Kerr, McAllen, Medina, Uvalde, and Wilson County. So if you fall within those counties, we can provide you the DBE, ACDBE certification. Now, if you fall outside of the realms of those counties, we do have other UCP members that are in our network. And with the color-coded map, you'll see in green, you'll have the city of Austin. In blue, you'll have the city of Houston. In red, you'll have the Corpus Christi Regional Transportation Authority. In orange, you have the North Central. And then for us, it's the white with South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency. And then all the other beige or other, the color is the Texas Department of Transportation, also known as TxDOT. So if you fall outside of our counties that are listed, then one of those other agencies will have to do your certification as a DBE or ACDBE. Some benefits for being certified. As I mentioned, it's free for those who fit within the counties that are within our jurisdiction. Certification accepted by many of our member entities and corporate sponsors. Competitive edge over your competitors. A lot of times that, bid solicitations come out, they require small minority women, veteran-owned participation. And inside of those solicitations, they have a percentage that will go to a SWMB firm. And so this will grant you an opportunity to be competitive over your competitors by being certified with the agency. Also, it increases cash flow. As we all know, in hard times and difficult times, there are many cases where you want to have extra cash flow coming into your business. And so certification is definitely one. If you've not looked at it, please take a look at it. Also, database visibility. So once you're certified, you're entered into our database as well as a national database if you become DBE, ACDBE certified. And so this allows other companies to locate you and to potentially reach out to you for contract work or anything that they may need your services for. Also, it's another revenue stream. Sometime, the masters of so much of that we can do, sometimes those revenues dry up. And so certification is just another way to bring in some additional revenue to what you're already currently doing. And then lastly, it allows you to receive bid opportunities from various sources. So many of from the quasi-governmental entities and corporate sponsors, they have several bid solicitations. So being certified, it puts you into a database once you register and allows you to receive bid opportunities from these various companies. So right now, how to retrieve our application. So the agency has gone into some new areas, and now the application is currently online. But what we do have online right now currently, until we create our new website, you can pull down the application for the local and the federal program. However, we desire that you please go online to complete the application. But you'll see the website, and you can download just for reference, just to kind of take a look and see some of the things that are required. And so the information is online, but we do encourage that you go online to complete the application. Currently, also, you can visit our office, 3201 Cherry Ridge, Building B as in Bob, Suite 210, San Antonio, Texas, 78230, as well as events that we attend. Currently with the COVID-19, many things have kind of taken a turn. So please give us a call or send us an email to our agency if you should have any questions, 210-227-4722. How to apply online. So we pretty much have a little 4-step process. You'll go to the website, and that's the setrca.setrca.org. Once you get to that page, you'll click on Apply for Certification, and then you will create an account if you do not have one. Once that account is created, and then you're ready to start applying. So with the online application, what can we do and what can you achieve by going online? So we have a reciprocal certification. 2, we have a new out of jurisdiction certification. Then we have an out of jurisdiction renewal certification, the new local application certification, local renewal application certification, the new DBE, ACDBE certification, as well as the DBE, ACDBE affidavit. You're able to add your NAICS NAICS codes, also known as NAICS codes, the expansions, if you seek to expand services. And then you can update any changes or report any changes to your profile. One of the things we want to highlight with the NAICS codes is that it's a code that really kind of identifies your business. There are also NIGP codes that some of the other agencies use. So be sure to, with the agency, to use, if you do use NIGP codes, to cross-reference those with the NAICS codes with our agency. It's a 6-digit code versus a 5-digit code that you'll use once you go into applying online. And then this, again, just tells us the type of services that you're rendering and the business side. Vendors can always add new codes to your businesses and make any changes as your business grows. And then the other importance with the NAICS codes is that we ask that you list those NAICS codes that you receive 80% of your revenue from. And the reason being is that, you know, we know with some industries such as construction, there are several different NAICS codes. So we want to make sure that with those NAICS codes, that the ones that you select, that's where you receive 80% of your dollars from. Again, you can always add NAICS codes and then subtract NAICS codes as your business grows or decreases. So some of the things to look at when you apply online, just to kind of give you a window of what it looks like once you go online. So you'll see a landing page that will say for new certification or renewal. And basically it's kind of more of a decision tree type of application that once you start applying online. This may be new for many of vendors that have worked with us in the past, but I can promise you that it's seamless. But if you have any questions, you always feel free to give our agency a call. So once you decide which functionality that you're going for the new certification or renewal, just go into your profile. And then once you go into your profile, you'll see where it has a little bit of literature about the just a welcoming page and pretty much what we do here as an agency. And then you'll see the function functionalities of the decision tree, whether it be your small minority women, veteran-owned business, or you're seeking certification for the DBE, ACDBE. And then you'll click on one of those, and then it will basically start the process. Now, I ask that you please read and review many of the commands in the decision tree, because this is where some individuals and vendors will complete the wrong application. Whether it should be a local application, they may complete an out of juris application, in which then there's going to ask for a fee, and you really are not obligated to pay that fee if you're within the jurisdiction. So be sure to read the functionality of the decision tree. Again, as you go through the decision tree, you'll see different areas that it will point out. But again, just be sure to read what you're trying to, if you're doing a new application or you're doing a renewal or affidavit, just make sure that you click on the correct function. Then as you go through the application further, you'll see where you have a little bit more language about the program, the local application. Then you'll start your process in the different sections, your company and contact information, and then the business structure, and then some of the other things that the system will ask you. And again, just be sure to read those, the functionality of the decision tree. Then you'll get to a portion in the application where you'll click on the red highlighted, it's an alert button. And that alert button just tells you that, hey, you're gonna have 90 days and that you do wanna complete your application online. And then once you click that, you'll have 90 days. Outside of the 90 days, the system will remind you of different time frames that your application is not completed. But after 90 days, if we don't have a notification to extend the 90 days, then the system will kick you out of everything that you started. It will have you to start over. So be sure to be cognizant of your 90 days. And in that, you'll see different areas that you'll need to complete. And so one area that it's inside of the application, the mandatory documents, as it is when we have the actual paper copy, the system's still going to ask you a whole list of things that are required and mandatory. So if you do get to the mandatory documents in the application, please write a narrative and place it in your browser. And I'll use the example as a franchise agreement. A franchise agreement, many companies are not set up and function that way. So you would write a small narrative to say, my firm is not a franchise and we do not have a franchise agreement, and then upload that. There must be an upload in every field in order for your application to continue for submission. So if anything is left, it will not complete your application. So you will write a small narrative for the mandatory documents. Now, when you get to the required documents, you will have a button that will say NA, and it will indicate not applicable. So anything that is within that pick list of questions that is not applicable to your firm, just click NA, the NA button, and it'll allow you to continue to advance in submitting your application. So the difference between the mandatory, you must have a narrative statement of those items that are not pertaining to you to be uploaded. And then in the required documents, those items that are not applicable to you, you will just be able to click the NA button to advance your application. So as you continue to go through the application, you'll begin to see if it's a new app or DBE or SMWVBE application, you'll see the information that you will type in. And then in the different sections are all broken down, and it will give you so many incomplete, required, and optional fields. So please make sure that all of those are completed. It will, once those items are completed in each section, you will see a green check mark, and that will just let you know that you have completed that particular section and you're free to advance to the next section. So in that process, you'll be able to see at the top, there's a green toolbar that goes across, and it will have a percentage, and that percentage just kind of indicates of how much your application is completed. So that would just be a little gauge for you to say, you know, where you are in your application process. And once you get to 100%, that means your application is ready for submittal. So next question that is often asked is, how long does the process take? For the local program, we ask that at least for 45 days, 3 to 5 weeks to complete your application. And that just depends if we have all the documents that we are required. There is a random site visit for the local program, and that will be scheduled with each vendor. And then with the federal program, the DBE, ACDBE, there's a 30 to 90 day application completion. There is a mandatory site visit with the federal program, and that will then be scheduled with you and with the specialist that will be conducting the site visit. So know that if a site visit is conducted, it can last between 45 to 2 hours. Right now with the COVID-19, we're doing all site visits virtual. However, if we were not in this pandemic, you would have someone to come out to your residence and conduct a site visit. That site visit will just consist of the things that you do on a day-to-day. If you have equipment, we'll look for equipment. If you have, you know, you're just a consultant in your office, and, you know, so there'll be a litmus of questions that will be asked during the site visit. But those things will be scheduled with the specialist. So just make sure that you set aside 45 minutes to 2 hours per site visit. How often do you have to renew, update your certifications? So for the local program and certification, that's SMWBBE, you would need to do your certification every 2 years. And we will send reminders to you between 60 and 30 days out for you to know that your certification is up for expiration. And then also a checklist of items that will be required for the renewal. As well as for the DBE, ACDBE, it will be every year. So it's an annual affidavit that you'll need to submit. And then also it will go out between a 60 day, 30 day prior to your expiration. Just be sure to look at the information that is requesting and return those documents back in. Again, all of that can be done online now, whereas previous, it would be either mailed in or dropped off to our office. Both programs, we ask that if there are any changes, that you make sure you notify us within the 60 days, at least 30 days out of any changes, and then make sure that your email address is up to date. That's probably the #1 Achilles of where vendors don't get bid solicitations or opportunity because they change their email address and they do not notify the agency. So be sure to make sure your email address is current and up to date. As well as any other changes that you may make, we would need that 30 days of the change. After you get certified, we ask that you get registered with our member entities. One of the things that we will send to you is a list of our member entities and corporate sponsors, and we ask that you go onto their sites to get registered. Now, you do not have to be certified in order to get registered into their database, because you don't have to be certified in order to win a contract with many of our member entities. But once you do become certified, we ask that you do get registered into their database. So that way they can see all the ins and outs of your business. Even though you're in our database, we need you to be in their database. Also, attend pre-bid meetings. One of the things that a lot of businesses, once they get certified, they just kind of sit and wait by the phone for something to happen. I'm asking that you please attend these pre-bids, because those are the meetings where you want to be in the room with the players and who's going to be doing what. and start forming and developing those relationships. So please attend any pre-bids, even with the COVID-19 and the pandemic. Many of the member entities and corporate sponsors are having virtual pre-bid meetings. So feel free to attend those if those should come across your desk. Also, market your business. Let businesses, entities know, whether it be your colleagues, that you are certified. You never know who's going to be looking for your services. So let people know that you are certified with the agency. It gives a little bit of extra legitimacy to your business. So please let people know that you are certified. And then the other would be not to put your vendor ID on any of your marketing material. We've found that some people use other people's vendor ID to solicit work. So please do not put your vendor ID on any of your marketing material. In other ways to leveraging your certification, we do have a reciprocity. And this is that we allow if you're certified with any other TUCP members, you can get that certification with less paperwork here on our side. And that will be also for if you're Hub or your DBE certified. So that's just less documentation that is needed to be submitted if we look to certify you. However, in that process of the reciprocity, that you still must meet the agency's policies and procedures that we follow. And then you can also leverage, if you're already certified with the agency, and you can obtain additional certification, local government agencies outside of the state of Texas. Also, networking opportunities. You want to make sure that you get out and you network. That's a big piece of your business operation, is to network. There are several things that go on often. Certification seminars and workshops. The Business Opportunity of Texas have breakfasts and lunches. Go to attend some of the trade shows and expo shows. Get acquainted with your local chambers. The Maestro Entrepreneur Center is another spot that they have a lot of different trainings and networking functions. The PTAC breakfasts and workshops. And then also with the agency, we have a lunching and a bowling event that we do each year, and it's just a way for us to kind of get to know who you are and the services that you provide, and just interact and mingle with those that are in the room. And then also attend any type of Zoom and webinars where you can solicit and get new information on what's out there, and then let people know of your services. List of our member entities that are part of this agency. We have Alamo Colleges, Bexar County, Brooks, City Base. We also have the City of San Antonio. We have CPS Energy, the Edwards Aquifer, Port San Antonio, the San Antonio Housing Authority, San Antonio ISD, the San Antonio International Airport, the San Antonio River Authority, the San Antonio Water Systems, the University Health System, as well as Via Metropolitan Transit. So those are just a list of few of our member entities that are often looking for your services. And so we want to make sure that they see you by getting certified with our agency. Also, we have the Hub Streamline process, and the Hub stands for Historically Underutilized Businesses. And it's a state certification that is used and also received by several of our member entities that use and look for Hub certified. However, what we've done is we've streamlined that process. So if you get certified with our agency, then we have an extraction that is done every month around the 15th of each month of newly certified vendors. We will send that information out to the state of Texas, and then they will send you an actual certificate if you meet all the eligibilities once it goes through. You will receive a certificate from them, not from our office, but from the state of Texas, which is typically out of Austin. So be sure to make sure your email address is current and up to date, because that's where you're going to receive your certificate from. Also keep in mind that to be eligible for the program, one must be a minority or a woman. You must have an employer identification number, also known as the EIN, live in the San Antonio or the surrounding cities, i.e. state of Texas, then have a proof of ethnicity of your U.S. citizenship or Texas residency, and then have a valid email address, because the email address will be the way that you'll be communicated through and to. Some frequently asked questions. Many of the things that we get frequently asked questions as well as myths that people may hear. One question is why do I need to provide you supporting documents? And the documents are really just to confirm and affirm that your company is legit and the services that you provide, and to see that you meet the eligibility. Oftentimes, many of the firms that become certified with our agency, 90% of the firms are not, we do not have an opportunity to meet you. So your documents are our only way for us to know who you are and the services that you provide. So that's the reason why we ask for the supporting documents. Also, another question that's asked, does your agency process Hub Zone or 8A? We do not process Hub Zone or 8A. Those are federal programs, but feel free to go to the SBA.gov website, and those certifications are listed on there, and the requirements to become eligible for those certifications is also listed on their website. And then last, another question that comes up is, when will my Hub certification go through? As I mentioned, we do every month, around the 15th of each month, we do an extraction of newly certified vendors. And so probably within 3 to 4 weeks, you should receive a certificate from the state Texas comptroller if you met their eligibility, okay? Then another question that often comes up is, as a Caucasian male, can I get certified or be eligible for your local program? And that question is yes. That comes in where you have the small business portion, what makes you eligible. So we get that question asked often because the program started with just women and minority. And so having the small business piece has included Caucasian males in the program if you meet the eligibility. Then another question that's often asked, can my application be expedited? Your application can be expedited, but it must be through one of our member entities that they have to provide us a document coming from their office of your firm that will allow your application to be expedited. We look to expedite most firms within a 10-day window once we receive a priority form from one of our member entities. And then another question is asked, once I get certified, will my phone ring off the hook? That depends on what you do. And that question comes up a lot because some vendors, they will get certified and they say, no one has called me. So we ask that you still do the basic marketing 101, as well as make sure that you get registered with our member entities as well as corporate sponsors. But once you become certified, you still are obligated to get out and share with the world about your business and the services that you provide. Some of our resource partners that we use, we have the UTSA PTAC, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. They are the ones that will help you with your application, determine how you select your NAICS codes. And so they're a real advocate of the agency. We've been working with them for many, many years. And so please reach out to them at 210-458-2458. And some of our other resource partners that we have webinars and seminars with is SCORE, the Maestro Entrepreneur Center, Lift Fund, HCA is your Hispanic Contractors Association, and then many of our local chambers. So we ask that you explore many of those resource partners to see how they can help and benefit you to grow your business. And but always feel free to come back to our agency if we can be of any assistance. Again, our phone number is 210-227-4722. And that is my presentation. I would like to thank each and every one of you for attending. May the information that's been shared will be beneficial to you and hopefully help to grow your business. My name again is Charles Johnson. I'm the Executive Director for the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency. I can be reached 210-227-4722, extension 304. Thank you and have a great day.